Hello, and welcome back to yet another retro channel. Today we have the Amstrad CPC back on the bench, and that's because we have something new to look at with it. As you recall, last week we took a look at the CPC Dandinator Mini Dual, a quick way to load software snapshots into the machine and enable you to play games without having to go through the long process of loading via tape or tape image. We previously did look at connecting an external audio source like a cell phone, tablet, computer, or TZX Duino through ports in the back that we've installed. We still need to service the cassette deck, but unfortunately I still can't do that as the drive belt kit, two drive belts, and the idler tire, fast forward tire, whichever you want to call it. Those are coming from Australia and they still have not arrived. And we looked at the Dandinator, but now we have a new toy. This is called the DDI-5, and it's produced by a gentleman by the name of Zaxxon out of Poland. This is his current revision. I'm pretty sure, I know he's responsible for the DDI-4 and the DDI-5. DDI-1 was the original disk drive interface that Amstrad sold that connected to the back here and allowed you to connect up one of their 3-inch external disk drives, so it would be an external unit on the side. But over the years, the DDI series has grown. The last version of this device provided a disk drive interface that you could connect to this standard 34-pin header on the side. You connect the disk drive. It would work with a 3.5-inch, or it would work with the original 3-inch floppy disk drives from Amstrad. It would also work with a Gotek, so you could connect a Gotek here. For those of you who don't know, this is a Gotek. It is a floppy drive emulator. It allows you to put disk images on a USB stick, plug that in here, select the disk images using the rotary encoder with a particular firmware called flash floppy in this case, or with the flash floppy is also what you use for a PC connection. You select the disk image you wanted to load, hit a button to load it, and then this would act like it was a floppy drive, and you could then load software exactly as you would from a floppy. The gentleman Zaxxon, who did the DDI-4 that allowed that, has now released the DDI-5, and these can take a little while to get because these are individually handmade. This took me, I think, a few weeks to get. He has now integrated a Gotek directly into the DDI-5. So when you plug this in and plug your USB stick into the USB port, you have access to your disk images. You don't have to have an external. You can still put in an external. I may set mine up with an external 3.5-inch so that I can have physical floppies as well as disk images. But for now, this is a very nice solution. It comes in a very nice 3D printed case from Zaxxon. It provides both the disk interface, the Gotek, and it provides a 512K memory upgrade. So when you plug this into your CPC 464, instead of having 64K, it has 576K. Now, you may wonder what that's for if you're not familiar. There are quite a few games that take advantage of 128K, which is what the CPC 6128 has. There is even, and I'll show it briefly, a windowed operating system for the CPC that can run in the expanded memory, and it's on here. It can be on, loaded from the DDI. So what you do, you plug your DDI into the expansion port in the back. You start up your CPC, and you will see that it has booted into the standard AMSDOS. There is a switch on the DDI5, this switch right here, which allows you to select between AMSDOS, AMSDOS, however you want to pronounce it, and Parados, which is another disk operating system that was available for the CPC. Now, the next thing you'll need is a USB stick with some disk images on it. At the moment, I can't find any of my hundreds of USB sticks that seem to be laying around, so what I'm using is actually a micro SD card reader, and this works just fine. Just make sure that either your USB stick or your micro SD or whatever you're using is formatted FAT32. This device will only read FAT32 formatted devices, so you need a FAT32 operating system on here. Once you have that and have some disk images loaded, load the USB device into the DDI5, and once you have that, you use these buttons to move forward and backward through the files, disk images on the USB device. And once you have one, click that button to load it. And then if I do a cat, it should show me BombJack, which is what I selected. To run the program just like you would do with any program on a physical disk, run BombJack, and there we are. Looks like I have a French version of BombJack. That's a quick load of the game BombJack. Now, as I said, there are games that took advantage of 128K, which you can now play on your CPC 464 because this has the 512K memory expansion. So let me find one of those games. I believe Grisor took advantage of that. And we'll see if you can tell that I can't play that game. This is the first time I've played it, so I'm not very good there. We'll see what else we've got. R-Type, I believe, takes advantage of it. And I'm not very good at that one either. So we'll take a look at something else. This is the windowed operating system that I mentioned before. This is called SymBOS, S-Y-M-B-O-S, SymBOS. You can find this online if you look for it, and it's for several Z80 based systems, including the Amstrad CPC. It's still loading things up. Give it a moment. Okay. It's designed to work with a mouse, but I don't have a mouse for the Amstrad, but it will work with a joystick, and I'm just using a simple Atari joystick here. To show you that, oh, right, sorry, you have to switch to the application disk to get to some of these things. So, oh, there's the application disk. Look at the control panel. It will tell us we look at system. You can see there, this is a CPC 464. It can tell that. It sees the full memory, 576K of RAM. System is SymOS for CPC, and the version there, this is version 3.1. So you can see this is operating, and it's essentially a windowed operating system, multitasking windowed operating system for the CPC line of computers. I can switch between windows, not super fast, but then again, what can, you know, it's amazing for the hardware that we're working with. I'm guessing, actually, I'm not sure. I'm guessing that if this machine had anything attached to it that gave it a real-time clock, that this clock would be accurate. Of course, it's not right now. What's in the start menu? See that? Oh, that lets you define what's in your start menu. Okay. So if you look down here, it does have a start menu similar to Windows. But pretty impressive for a Z80 machine. Only made possible, like I said, by the fact that it has a memory expansion in it, and that is provided by the DDI5. So, if I can shut down. And we're back to AMSDOS. So that's pretty much an overview, a quick overview of the DDI5. I got a nice C64 haul. That C64 does have black screen right now, so I will be doing a live event on Sunday, July the 9th. Sunday, July the 9th at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which would be noon Pacific Daylight Time. But if you go to my channel page and look on lives, you'll find it, and it'll give you the time in your local region. I'd love to see you all on that live stream. We're going to take a look at fixing that C64. It may be nothing more than a PLA, so it may only take a few minutes. If that's the case, I do have some other things we can look at to pad things out and give us all time to have a nice repair session and discussion and see what's going on with everybody. If you enjoyed this video, and I know it's been a little weird and kind of disjointed, but I did want to demonstrate the new DDI5 that I've got as a software loading mechanism for the Amstrad. But if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. It helps the channel a lot. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. Again, that also helps the channel a lot. If you didn't like it, you know what to do with that too. And I will say, if you're going to do a thumbs down, I would appreciate if you would leave a comment telling me what it is you didn't like about the videos, so that I can try to improve. I don't want to continue to produce videos you guys don't like. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you get text notification, email notification when I post new videos. Share the video out as much as you want to. Post it on social media, or share it with your friends who you think might enjoy it. And be sure to check out my friends. We have a small YouTube retro repairers group that we sort of collaborate with each other and help each other out. Their channel links will be in the description below. They are 8-Bit Retro Refix, that's Steve; Captain Commodore, Lee; Retro for You, which is Neil; Joseph Retro Bits, which is Joseph; and our newest member, 8-Bits in the Basement, which is Peter. They all have some great content on their channels, and you could do worse than to go over there and watch some of their stuff. It's good stuff. And that'll do it for today. So everybody stay safe, stay well. I do want to thank my patron for his support. And if you would like to support the channel, the patron and Ko-Fi links are in the description below. But everybody have a great week, and we'll see you hopefully on Sunday for the live, and that'll do it. So I appreciate you watching, and talk to you later. Bye.